Hey guys, it's Adrian over at BHA here, bringing you a new video. So this week, the great folks over at Treatlife sent me over one of their 600 watt outdoor dimmer plugs. This is a 2 outlet plug to show you guys. And we're going to check this thing out and see what all we can do with it. Here we go. So as you probably already noticed, you can pick this thing up on Treatlife's website for about 40 bucks. But you also have the opportunity to hit Treatlife's Amazon storefront and pick it up for 40 bucks there as well. Now this is a pretty nice little plug. This is going to run with the Treatlife or SmartLife app, which should also mean that it's going to be using the Tuya app as well. So let's dive right in and see what we can do with it. All right, let's do a quick run through of everything we're going to cover in this video. For starters, let's go ahead and unbox the plug. Once that is done, let's install it and get it added into the Tuya app. Now, obviously, installing it should be pretty simple since all we really need to do is plug it in. Next, we're going to go over the config in the app and just kind of see what all we can do with it. Once that's done, we will attempt to get it added into Home Assistant. And then lastly, of course, we will see it in action. So let's get started. Okay, so let's do the unboxing. As you can see on the outside of the box, there's lots of information on the plug and what all you can do with it. Let's get this thing opened up here. Inside the box, you got instructions, which kind of obviously help you get it added into the app. Besides that, basically, you just get the plug itself. As you can see here, right on top, it has the individual power buttons for each outlet. It also has the outlet covers here for both outlets right there on the front, so kind of protects them from moisture and stuff when they're not being used. On the back of it, there is a screw hole, so you can actually mount this kind of on the wall next to your outlet if you wanted to. All right, so as for the specs, I couldn't find a lot of information, but this is a 600 watt max plug. And basically what that means is each outlet on the plug is 300 watt max. This is dimmable, so with lights hooked up to it, it should be pretty nice. It is waterproof, so IP64 rated. So this will work outdoors pretty well. It also supports long-range Wi-Fi. So basically, they kind of already understand that putting it outside is probably going to be on the edge of your Wi-Fi network at home. So this will support a Wi-Fi range of up to like 300 feet. So that's pretty nice. One thing to note on the Wi-Fi, it only supports 2.4 gigahertz. So this will not support 5 gigahertz, which is pretty standard with most smart home devices anyway. I kind of already mentioned this, but with this being Treatlife, it will support their Treatlife app, SmartLife app, and it should support the Tuya app as well, which will make it nice when we want to get this thing added into Home Assistant and utilize that Tuya integration. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get this thing installed and added into the, hopefully, Tuya app. All right, installing the plug obviously is a very simple process here. All we have to do is plug it in. Now for me, I'm plugging it into this power strip here, but more than likely you're going to want to use this thing outside. This is an outdoor rated plug, not one that you're going to normally use inside your house. But for the sake of this video, this is what we're going to do. So the next step, of course, is getting it added into the app. And this is a pretty simple process. And again, this thing will work with the Treatlife app, the Smart Life app, as well as the Tuya app, which is what we're going to do and be using here. I have the Tuya app pulled up, and as you can see, it's already discovered the new plug. So let's go ahead and move through the process. It wants me to put in my Wi-Fi password here to get this thing added onto the network. We'll give it a few seconds here to complete the process. And there it is. It's now added to the Tuya app. So we can change the name if we want. I'm just going to call it Outdoor Dimmer, make it something simple. And there it is. It's now added into the Tuya app. You can see both the plugs are shown there kind of individually, so you can turn them on and off separately. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll go over all of the config options within the app. All right, so here we are back in the Tuya app. Right here on the main screen for this device, you can see both the plugs shown there individually. So you do have the option to turn them on and off, and of course adjust the brightness as well. You can kind of do all that individually right here. You can even give each plug a separate name if you want, so that's kind of neat. Here at the bottom, there's a section for routines. This is where you can kind of set schedules for turning the plugs on and off and all that kind of stuff. LED indicator. So on the top of the device, there is an LED indicator that shows when the plugs are on or off. And of course, this gives the ability to kind of disable that if you want. Let's see here, dimmer settings. This is where you can adjust the default dimmer settings. If you need to kind of adjust for brightness or you feel like the settings are not correct. For now, I'm just gonna leave it all the default options. I think they should be fine. Let's see here. If we go up in the top corner, there's a settings button up here at the top. We'll see what options we have in there. So of course we can change the name if we want. We already set that, so we don't need to change it again. Here's where we list out the device information. So of course you get your IP address as well as the MAC address and other information here. All right, so this section here, of course, is where if you had any automations set up in the Tuya app, then you would be able to access them here and configure them to work with this device. The rest is pretty standard for most Tuya devices. You can share with other Tuya accounts if you wanted to. And then of course down here at the very bottom, this is where you could go in if you wanted to update the firmware or if it's even an option. You can see ours is already up to date, so we're good to go there. But that's pretty much it as far as options and availability here in the Tuya app. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get this thing added into Home Assistant. All right, so getting this thing added into Home Assistant is actually super easy, especially if you're using the Tuya integration. It works really well. So if we go down into the integrations section here under settings, we're going to look for our Tuya integration here. Should be down towards the bottom. And basically all we really need to do is hit reload. So we hit those three dots, we'll hit the reload button here, give it a second to reload. I think I've already done it, so it's probably not going to change anything here. Once it's reloaded, if you click on it, you should be able to see your newly added device. And of course, there you can see it. It is the outdoor dimmer. And It has, of course, both plugs listed there individually, which makes it super nice. And of course, if we click on those directly, then we can kind of go in and that's where you would be able to adjust the brightness and everything else. But that's it. It's now added into Home Assistant. Let's go ahead and move on to the last step, and I'll just kind of show it to you in action. All right, so of course here on the left is Home Assistant. On the right is the light plugged into the dimmer. Let's turn it on here and we can kind of see how responsive it is. As you can see, it actually works really well. Turning it on and off is very responsive. Play around with the slider a bit here just to kind of show you the brightness. And again, actually, it looks really good. So for $40 for a 2-plug outdoor dimmer, it's not too bad. Definitely worth checking out. I'll have a link in the description below to Treatlife's website. So if you, for some reason, are not interested in this plug, they have tons of other smart home gear that you're definitely going to want to check out. I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, check out Smonet. I'll have a link in the description below. If you head over to their website, you can see what deals they currently have running. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below for that as well. And if you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.